You're inside the Mouse Castle with Tim and Anthony. Visit us at themousecastle.com. Follow the Mouse Castle on Facebook and Inside the MC on Twitter. Inside the Mouse Castle is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. Soon, you'll understand why. Here's Tim and Anthony.
Welcome inside the Mouse Castle. I'm Tim Calloway.
And I'm Anthony Reynolds. It is February 9th, 2016.
We're your weekly dose of Disney news, information, and commentary. And what do we have coming up today, sir?
Inside Out dominated the Annie Awards. Weird Al Yankovic is coming to Disney XD, and your house can now smell like Disneyland. Sorry, I'm giggling because
there's so many ways to interpret that. Yeah.
Well, no, you didn't put, but Disney XD. For some reason, when I was reading that, I thought you had typed just the smiley face that XD represents. I was like, what the hell is this all about? Anyway, that's all next inside the Mouse Castle.
I like to plant little distractions in the script just to see if you're paying attention.
You had a typo there for like 7 months. It was probably over a year that typo was there.
And I finally fixed it, but I didn't tell you about it and you didn't notice it for like 3 weeks.
Bothered me. I found out. No, I noticed that day one. Because I always look to see if you fixed it.
Sure you did.
Uh-huh.
Well, over the weekend, Saturday night, at the Annie Awards in Los Angeles, Inside Out won damn near everything.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not bad for a Ricky Martin biopic.
Not bad at all. It was nominated in 11 categories, and it took home 10 awards.
Is that a record of some sort?
I don't know. I
they keep
would have to
records
go.
At the Annie Awards.
I would have to go back and ask. I'm really not sure.
I'll wait.
I have no idea. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back.
Hey, do you know? No, I don't know.
No, don't know. Okay. Anyway, among the awards it took was, of course, Best Animated Feature, Best Director, Best Writing, Best Voice Acting, and this one really made me happy. Phyllis Smith, the voice of Sadness,
won an
Annie Award.
Supporting?
They only have like one acting category, and
she won the acting category?
Lead or supporting, male, female, they're all grouped together into one category.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She won the only acting award.
She won the only acting award. And she beat
I was really
out...
hoping that'd go to Leonardo DiCaprio.
She beat out Amy Poehler, who was also nominated for Joy.
Well, good.
Yeah, good for her. And you mentioned that she beat Leonardo DiCaprio, because everybody does. But
that dude's never going to get an Annie.
Here's a thing. The Revenant actually took home an Annie for the digital animation of the bear.
Oh, wow.
How about that?
That's cool.
That was best character animation in a live action film.
That just animated bear, that reminds me of Brave and how much I didn't enjoy it.
That was a movie that should have been much better than it was.
That felt like a crappy movie. That's all I got.
Yeah, I wouldn't say crappy, but definitely
visually stunning, nothing else.
Yes.
That's how I feel about it. Brother Bear was a good movie, though.
You know something? I just watched Brother Bear for no particular reason a couple of weeks ago. And it was like, I don't remember really caring much about the film one way or the other. But as I'm sitting down watching this, and it's like, it's a pretty good movie.
It really is.
Yeah.
And one thing I really dug about Brother Bear was when he's human, you have one aspect ratio. As he becomes the bear, suddenly the screen widens. Did you notice that?
Yes. Yes, that's true.
That's just nuts. I loved that.
Yeah, because Brother Bear, as you know, was directed by Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm. It was so pretentious, and there was a lot of reading.
Yes, there was. And a lot of them just a lot of characters just sitting in the center of the screen, not doing anything.
Random French pop dominated the soundtrack of that movie.
Yes. Who knew? Anyway, back to the Annie Awards.
That was a nice detour to Brother Bear, though. I enjoyed that.
That was, and we got a Wes Anderson reference in there too.
There you go.
That makes us, very, very hip, and I don't know what it makes us.
We're with it. We are the young people.
Yeah. Well, one of us is. Anyway, other Disney wins, The Avengers Age of Ultron got an award for animated effects in a live-action film. Beat out Jurassic Park.
Wow, it beat out a movie from 1993, Tim.
How about that? How about Jurassic World? Maybe I should get my movies straight. Thank you for paying attention, though. I appreciate that. And then the one category that Inside Out was nominated in that it did not win went to The Good Dinosaur, which got the Annie for Best Animated Effects in an Animated Film. And that was no doubt for the rather impressive background landscape animation that was done in that film.
I still have not seen it, making it the only Pixar film I have not seen.
Oh, you need to do it. You need to be a completist to see the movie.
I also know I'm gonna see it, but I can't go see it in theaters because Star Wars is still in theaters, and as long as Star Wars is in theaters, I can't see any other movie.
It's got to move out of theaters eventually. I mean,
Yeah,
we
no,
know
that's-
it's coming out on home video and Blu-ray and digital HD in April. So it's got to get out of theater sooner or later.
They could pull like a Home Alone and be in theaters for like 11 months. The movie was still in the top 10 in the summertime. That is so bizarre. I did see Star Wars again, though, in IMAX, and it was glorious. That's the only
I
way
did
to
not
see
see
it.
it in IMAX. I saw
That
just
is like
regular.
the way to see it.
But I did see it in 3D.
Yeah, in 3D, I could, give or take, I don't care. But, God, the IMAX sound in the picture is just amazing to me, and I loved every moment of it. Disney's California Adventure.
No, you don't say Disney's California Adventure anymore.
Well-
They dropped the apostrophe S years ago.
I'm sorry. Disney California Adventure did not exist 15 years ago, Tim, but Disney's California Adventure did.
Very true. And it's celebrating its 15th anniversary on February 8th of 2001. Disney's California Adventure opened on a 55-acre lot that used to be Disneyland's parking lot.
What a terrible time to open a park. Who says February 8th, I think, would be a good day to open this park?
Yeah, how does that work out? And I was doing a little research because I was curious when the Grand California Hotel opened.
This was before the park, wasn't it?
It actually opened in January. It was like January 2nd of 2001. It had its grand opening on February 8th, but it had accepted its first guest in the hotel on January 2nd. And then the previous December, it had a convention event, some sort of special event in its convention center.
That'd be really cool to stay at a hotel its first night open.
Yeah.
To be like, nobody's ever done this before. Nobody's been in this room.
15 years of Disney's and Disney California Adventure.
I really messed with your head, didn't I?
I can't say it now. I can't say it one way or another. I have to say them both now.
For the rest of your life.
That's really going to trouble me. Anyway, there's this great little video on YouTube and also on the Disney Parks blog that they put out for Disney California Adventure, and I'm reading that right off of the title here, where they kind of showed the highlights from over the years. And they showed like the grand opening of the park, of course, and the opening of a Bugs Land. Do you know what was in the space Bugs Land is now? What was there before Bugs Land?
I knew that you couldn't walk through it. Like, it was blocked off, and that opened up a whole thing. I don't know, I'd say parking structure, I guess.
No, it was actually called the Bountiful Valley Farm.
Oh, shit, you're right.
I know. I actually have my Dave Smith Disney A to Z. I actually looked that up, and it's like Bountiful Valley Farm. Oh yeah, that's what became Bugs Land because nobody went there.
So what are they going to do with Bugs Land?
Well, Bugs Land
there.
is still Bugs Land, but
I know, everybody goes there. A lot of people still go there. That sucks, though.
yeah. Bugs Land has the worst bumper car ride on the planet.
I've never been on that ride.
It's horrible. It is horrible because I think the ride was designed by lawyers because the vehicles, it is impossible for the vehicles to build up enough momentum to come in any contact with each other whatsoever. They have removed the entire fun that exists about having a bumper car. Anyway.
That's sad.
It really is. It really is. Anyway.
I'm looking at this old map.
Well, you really got me going on California Adventure. You really do. Anyway,
Dude.
they had that. They showed the opening, of course, of Cars Land, of the Silly Symphony Swings, of the Little Mermaid ride, of Toy Story Mania. All of those highlights in the video. It's pretty cool.
Do you miss anything from there, from the old days?
No, because of most of the rides that have been removed, I never went on them anyway. I never did Superstar Limo. I've only seen it on video.
Oh God, I watched they used to always those better quality videos, but I watched a side-by-side video where one side was Superstar, one side was Monsters Inc.
Oh,
Just to kind of see where everything lined up.
Okay, yeah, because it's the exact same track.
Same track.
Same
And
layout.
actually, a lot of the main focus figures in the ride are just where like Drew Carey's one was there. I mean, the main focal point ones are still where they were.
Mm-hmm.
They
probably still have the foundation or the base for the animatronic. They just changed the character.
And just the same spot and everything. It's, yeah.
Okay. I never saw Golden Dream, the movie with Whoopi Goldberg.
I never did either. I mean, I went to this park, actually, when it was like 2001. I was there its first year. Holy crap.
I'm trying to think the first year I actually went to California.
Oh, that was 2002.
It took me a while because I missed out on that. I would say it was probably a good year at least before I went to California Adventure.
Now, I know some people that went to California Adventure at the annual pass preview day, and they were so pissed off that they did not return to Disneyland for several years.
Oh my. Yeah, remember the good old days when Disney's California Adventure just really pissed everyone off?
That was a great time to be alive.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. It was certainly fascinating on online on social media and on message boards and stuff like that, because it became almost like a sport to come up with the most angry criticism of California Adventure.
It was pretty dumb though when it opened.
I think it's a terrific park now. It really is. All the changes that they made really turned it into something actually worth going to. It has no real theming or flow to it. It's just a lot of pieces of different different elements, but it's still a fun park, and I like the spaciousness of it.
I think they've done really well in retaining. You can pick out the California in every attraction, in every land, like Route 66, Cars Land. That fits.
True.
I mean, the Little Mermaid ride is based on a California aquarium. The outside, I think, is what I've read. I don't know. I think that's true. I'm making shit up now, Tim.
Yeah, wasn't Little Mermaid Scandinavian? Just saying.
Well, the story was, but the architecture of the show building.
Okay. Which didn't differ significantly from when Golden Dream was there.
No. I wonder what that was. I should watch that on YouTube.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere if you look for it. So anyway, happy birthday
Thanks.
to Disney California Adventure and Anthony Reynolds.
A little late, Tim.
Yeah, sorry. Missed that. Anyway, across the Esplanade at Disneyland on Monday, Peyton Manning, you know who Peyton Manning is, right?
He is a dancer, I want to say.
He's on Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars. He was teamed up with Chaz Bono.
That was awkward to say the least. But the quarterback for the Denver Broncos, he showed up at Disneyland to do the traditional parade down Main Street to celebrate the victor of the Super Bowl.
Now, there's been, I don't know how many Super Bowls they've done the Disney thing, but at least one of those years, one of those guys was just really annoyed that he had to go to Disneyland.
Oh, I'm sure. Actually, one of the most famous ones wasn't even a football player. Remember Nancy Kerrigan?
Yeah, wasn't she crazy?
Nancy Kerrigan was the one that got whacked in the knee by the crazy.
Oh, okay. She was the normal.
Yes,
okay.
She was. Yeah, but when she came back from the Olympics, I think that year she'd gotten the silver medal. But they were just celebrating, her achievement, and you could see, and it was captured on video, while she's riding down Main Street in the parade and waving and smiling and all that. You can see her kind of grit her teeth and just say, "This is so corny." She just didn't like it at all. But the interesting thing about the Super Bowl this year, traditionally, and this is like going back to 1987, where they've always done the, whomever the star player was that year in the Super Bowl, you just won the Super Bowl. What are you doing next? And they say, I'm going to Disneyland or I'm going to Walt Disney World. This was only the second time since 1987 that Disney did not buy a commercial spot during the Super Bowl. So Peyton Manning did not say, I'm going to Disneyland. I guess he kind of sort of did after the cameras were turned off and he just made an aside comment to press. But he got more plugs in for Budweiser than anything else.
He was found drunkenly slurring to a bottle of Bud Light that he was going to Disneyland.
Exactly.
Hell,
so they quickly edited that one out.
I'm going to Disneyland. This is my girlfriend, Papa John.
I'm going to take my kids.
We're going to Disneyland, Papa John.
And they can go to Disneyland. I'm going to be over at the Cove Bar drinking beer.
Lots of nachos to Papa John. I just don't like how Papa John is there. That's so weird to me.
Well, you
Papa
didn't
John
like that
just...
Papa John and Peyton Manning kissed. I know that bothers you.
That's so strange. Because it's essentially like watching two Muppets kiss.
So, yeah, anyway, congratulations to the Denver Broncos, and Peyton Manning had a good time and at a parade, and there were a lot of Broncos fans there too, wearing their jerseys.
There we go. At Disneyland, Denver knows how to do it.
Speaking of Super Bowl, there was a few interesting Super Bowl commercials, not the least of which were trailers for a couple of movies coming up for Disney.
Now, I saw these trailer TV spots on YouTube, and these remain to be the only part of the Super Bowl that I've seen. I normally try to watch it, but I didn't this year. I didn't care. I went to Star Wars instead. That's what I did. So,
and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it was a great choice, and I have no regrets.
That's a respectable way to spend a Sunday.
Indeed it is. But there's a couple new trailers out. The Jungle Book, which is placing me more and more on the fence the more I see with it.
There were bits of it that I thought showed potential, and other parts that still made me kind of indifferent to the whole thing. I liked being able to finally hear some of the additional voice casts, because up until now, the only thing that was out there is there was a trailer or teaser trailer with Scarlett Johansson voicing Kaa, which I think is actually an interesting casting choice. But we got to hear Ben Kingsley as Bagheera. We got to hear Christopher Walken as King Louis.
That is actually, I'm excited for that, and not just because of the whole novelty love of Christopher Walken. I think that's actually a really good casting choice, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and I mean, and I really like that they have made a conscious decision to depart from the original Disney version of the Jungle Book. So you have Scarlett Johansson doing Kaa. You've got Christopher Walken, who is so far removed from Louis Prima doing King Louis. It's amazing. But Ben Kingsley is dead on. I mean, it's just like having Sebastian Cabot, who did the voice in the animated version. The one that I was not real happy with, and the one I thought I was going to look forward to the most, hearing finally Bill Murray as Baloo, just what little I heard just didn't work for me.
See, I can't decide. I think it's fine personally, but
I don't know. There was just something about it that's not Baloo, that's Bill Murray. That's all I can do. I could not separate the actor from the character.
That's not Bill Murray, that's Garfield.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, I could separate the actor from the character. And yeah, it's Garfield. You're exactly right.
Too bad he's not alive. He could have got Lorenzo Music.
Carlton, your doorman. Nice. But yeah, I'm still not horribly excited about the Jungle Book. I will see it because I kind of feel an obligation to, but
it looks like something different though. Like, I don't know any other movie that looks the way this one looks like it's gonna look. It
looks like Life of Pi, except there's more in the jungle. It's Life of Pi in the jungle.
I never saw Life of Pi,
which is a beautiful looking film, but yeah, okay.
Funny story. I remember watching the Oscars the year that Life of Pi was up for everything, and I was with some friends, and Life of Pi just won the Oscar for Best Cinematography. And as the people who were accepting the award are walking up, one of the people in the room turns to everybody else and says, "I heard that movie has really good cinematography." And I just said, apparently.
Yeah, really.
Because the guy's getting the Oscar for it right now. Like, he didn't say that like because it was on. It's just as an aside, and we were all so confused.
He wasn't really paying attention to what was going on the screen,
was he? He really wasn't. He really was not. Like, we know. We just watched, like, proof of it.
Yes, excellent cinematography. They just said
now,
so.
Whenever anybody says Life of Pi, I always be like, I hear that movie has good cinematography. Even though nobody was in that room, I just say it for me, because it makes me laugh.
Well, Jungle Book comes out on April 15th, so mark your calendars.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, the other movie, though,
this one looks solid.
This one, did not disappoint.
And this one, it's interesting to me, is they're throwing so much more onto it, like so many different levels, but still retaining the feel of the earlier movies, and that is Captain America Civil War. I mean, they're throwing, like, Iron Man and everything, but everything in there still feels like it's a Captain America movie.
Yeah, well, and really kind of like what was said about Star Wars The Force Awakens when J.J. Abrams did his thing. You know, the reaction was, it looks like a Star Wars movie. Well, there is definitely a look to movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They all have a style, a point of view, a type of cinematography.
I was going to say, we're going to discuss cinematography, aren't we?
That makes it look like a Marvel movie, and this definitely has it.
And it's not even just Marvel movie. It's every Marvel film has its own feel, which is so cool to me, because you could go to Guardians of the Galaxy, it's going to be a completely different feel than Captain America, but they still, when they come together, do it so well. But anyway, the TV spot for Captain America Civil War showed us a little bit more. I got to see a little bit more Tony Stark badassery.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the bit with the Winter Soldier with Sebastian Stan, and Tony Stark puts on the Iron Man glove. It stops a bullet.
And what a dainty glove it was.
I know. That was,
It's so cool.
that was pretty damn impressive.
It's, yeah, I mean, the what's the word? Melee? Is that hand-to-hand combat?
We can call it that. We can call it hand-to-hand combat if you'd like.
There we go. The hand-to-hand combat in the Captain America franchise is just almost unparalleled in a lot of movies.
Well, look how many guys Captain America beat up in an elevator. I mean, come on.
That was fantastic.
That was a great scene. That was a terrific scene. What do you think of how the two sides match up, where you've got Captain America and Ant-Man and Falcon and Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch and who am I missing on one side?
I'm so glad you're paying attention to who's on which side.
And I'm doing this from memory. I'm not even looking at any images. And then the other side, you've got Iron Man and Black Widow, and Black Panther makes an appearance. And who am I missing? Vision.
Vision. Who's he with? Is he with
He's siding with Tony Stark with Iron Man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You kind of have to go with Vision, don't you?
I mean, I like how these two sides kind of balance each other out. I think that's very, very cool.
I like it. Is Ant-Man in the movie?
Ant-Man is in the movie.
Oh my god.
He is on the side of Captain America.
This is gonna be such a mess.
I know it is. Oh, I know who I was thinking of. Iron Patriot or War Machine.
Oh,
Don
yeah.
Cheadle. And there is a clip in the trailer where you see Iron Man, crouching over War Machine. He takes the mask off, and
it's Terrence Howard.
It's Terrence Howard, stunning, and he's out cold.
It really bums me out that Terrence Howard was such a tool, because I really liked him better than Don Cheadle, and I feel like I'm in the minority, so I don't voice that opinion a lot.
I've gotten used to Don Cheadle now, so I'm good with it. But yeah, it was awkward when the character switched actors between movies. That was awkward.
I think I'm better with it now. I didn't realize it. I think I was just holding on to that same feeling I had.
just bitterness.
But no, I'm still. I would prefer Terrence Howard. I think he's better for the role.
Oh, did you see this? I just happened to catch this earlier today. Speaking of Captain America, did you see the images? Somebody went on Google Maps and took the satellite images of Disneyland and superimposed better ways to like decorate the rooftops so you get a really cooler visual from the sky. And they wanted to put Captain America's shield on the roof of, I'll call it the Carousel of Progress, but what's now Superhero HQ, and where the Star Wars Season of the Force thing is, the launch bay.
Where'd you find that?
It was on, where did I see it? It was on one of the Disney fan sites, and I can't remember exactly which one. I've seen several links to it, and it actually looked kind of cool, but they were also wanting to do upgrades to like the roof of Indiana Jones Adventure and It's a Small World, and I think there was one other that they did. But
I missed Indiana Jones. I need to go down that one again.
But the shield on Superhero HQ actually looked pretty cool.
I
mean, none of the guests would be able to see it in the park, but you get that awesome aerial view.
Yeah, because a lot of people are doing that a lot, is seeing what's on top of Disneyland. Because I go like satellite view a couple times a week, honestly.
Nice. I like to go onto the Disneyland app and check wait times, even if I'm nowhere near the park.
See, I thought about doing that, but nah.
Sad news coming out of Southern California. Screenwriter Daniel Gerson, who co-wrote the screenplays for Monsters, Inc. and Big Hero 6, passed away at age 49. 49, that's just ridiculous. That's way too young. And I'm speaking as someone who's older than 49, so this really, really bothers me. But he did a lot of scripts for Disney and Pixar, worked on the stories for Inside Out and Up as well, also Chicken Little. You know, very sad. He had brain cancer and passed away at his home on Saturday. And he is survived by his wife, 2 children, and parents.
And stories that will live forever.
Indeed. I know. That's not a bad credit to have to your resume there. But our condolences to his family and friends. Daniel Gerson, rest in peace.
In other news, this is kind of exciting because it involves one thing I like and 2 things that you like. Well, I don't mind, but I just don't. Phineas and Ferb, I never got familiar with. Not that I dislike it. I just didn't know what
Great
it was.
Show. Just
right,
fun.
Yeah,
so clever, so imaginative. Love it.
Would you say it's better than Gravity Falls?
Oh, it's a dead heat. And we'll talk about Gravity Falls later. But yeah, I love those shows both so much. Really, really.
I decided I have to rewatch all of Gravity Falls because I lost track of which episode I left on, and instead of figuring out, I'm going to watch it all.
I binge watched most of the second season to catch up. And
fantastic, isn't it?
Oh my God,
you were way behind last time.
So good. Did you get to Weird Mageddon? Have you gotten to the end yet?
I know. I think I'm an episode or 2 behind.
Okay, all right. I won't give anything
now
away,
I'm behind.
But it's really, really clever. But anyway, aside from that,
Weird Al coming into the mix now is going to voice the title role in a new show by the same people who did Phineas and Ferb.
Dan Povenmire and Jeff Marsh.
Swampy Marsh. It's going to call Milo Murphy's Law, which is also going to have, holy crap, Christian Slater.
I know. Look at this voice cast. This is pretty cool.
Well, Christian Slater's actually doing voice work. He's been on Archer. Like last season he was on Archer and a little bit the season before. Vanessa Williams and one of my favorite people, Jermaine Clement. He was Fled the Conchords.
Right, right.
Men in Black 3. He was in that one. Does a lot of other stuff too. And the 2 creators, Povenmire and Marsh, are doing voices too on it. And this is coming from Slate.com. It's going to be premiering in the fall. Oh, and he's a descendant of the Murphy of Murphy's Law.
That's where it comes from. Milo Murphy is the great, 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 great grandson of the original Murphy, and Weird Al Yankovic is doing his voice and will be doing some songs for the show as well. Go figure.
That is exciting.
I mean, seriously, this, and we were talking about this before we started recording. I, as much as I loved Phineas and Ferb, I mean, adding Weird Al to the creative mix here. I mean, I was giddy. I was kind of when I read this the first time.
I'm excited. I might get into this one. I hope that they're trying to recreate kind of I don't know. Disney needs to get into the animation game. They have a couple good hits, but they're still being owned by Nickelodeon.
It depends on the show. And, Phineas and Ferb, certainly one of their all-time great animated shows for the Disney Channel and Disney XD. Gravity Falls, which we mentioned, which is coming up on its very last episode, which comes out on February 15th. That's such a clever original show. And I'm totally disappointed that Alex Hirsch only did 2 seasons of that. But he said that he told the story that he wanted to tell. And, just like Phineas and Ferb, rather than having the endless summer that Phineas and Ferb had over a number of seasons, this summer in Gravity Falls ends after 2 seasons.
It's a damn shame.
One of the cool things about that, though, is that this week I'm actually headed down to Burbank for a little press event to mark the ending of Gravity Falls. And there's going to be a little Q&A that we'll be doing with Alex Hirsch, the creator of the show, and also the voice of Grunkle Stan and Seuss. He's going to be there, as is my inappropriate crush, Kristen Schaal, who's the voice of Mabel, and Jason Ritter, who's the voice of Dipper. Jason's also the son of John Ritter, if you're keeping score. Here's something interesting. If you would like your house to smell like Disneyland or the Magic Kingdom, there is a company called Anthology Candles, and they make candles that have the scent of some of your favorite things at Disneyland, such as Dole Whips and churros.
Oh, so they have a cinnamon candle and a pineapple candle? That's cool. Nobody else makes those.
They also have one that's called Main Street Bakery.
Oh, they got one that smells like a Main Street bakery.
Yeah. They have one called Haunted Manor. The one that they don't have, and this totally disappoints me, they don't have a candle that smells like Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's why they have that cologne that they make that smells like... I want to buy this cologne. I got to find this cologne, and I need to give a review of it. It's probably so expensive.
Yeah, you got to give it a try.
But that bums me out, too, though. That's the only... You think, Anthony, what's your favorite Disneyland smell? Pirates of the Caribbean. And people look at you like you're dumb, but whatever, man.
Then go write it, and all you have to do is write it once to know what we're talking about. The Huffington Post ran this story like last week. And if you look at the photos of the candles from Anthology's Candles, it will say something along the line of Disney-inspired soy collection. It'll say the Disney Parks and Resorts series, and there's a little castle in the middle of the label. Well, one thing about getting a story about your product in the Huffington Post, a lot of people see it. So less than a week later, if you go to Anthology Candles' Etsy site, doesn't say Disney anywhere, and there's no castle on any of the labels.
I want to read this to you. Disclaimer, due to the fact that we are in no way endorsed or affiliated with Disney or any Disney entities, subsidiaries, or affiliations, we have decided to tweak our label to better reflect our own personal branding and to avoid any potential confusion. Our dream is to partner with Disney in some way, but until that time, we thank you for understanding and reiterate our original and uniquely created scents have not changed.
Which means they got a letter from Disney Legal.
They definitely got a letter from Disney Legal. And Disney is being chill enough to let them put this on here. And that will do it for this edition of Inside the Mouse Castle. Don't forget to visit us at themousecastle.com, on Facebook at facebook.com/themousecastle, and on Twitter at InsideTheMC.
And we are also on Instagram, Tumblr, and Pinterest, and you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Clamor. We talked about Clamor last week. That's such a great app. It really is. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be in LA this week for a little get-together to mark the final episode of Gravity Falls. So we'll be talking about that in the next episode of the Mouse Castle Lounge, which is coming up this weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
That's cool. I got nothing.
You got nothing? Okay.
Got nothing.
Well, that's it then. Then we'll catch you guys next time on Inside the Mouse Castle.
See ya.